Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Nanyang Championships here. We are in the NA Qualifier in our very first series of the Nanyang Championships. It's Digital Chaos going toe-to-toe against Root Gaming. We just witnessed in game number 1, Digital Chaos looked pretty good.
Remaining.
Maybe a little rust here and there, but they definitely got the job done. It was an unfortunate start.
We called it building chemistry.
Building chemistry, learning communication skills, which they definitely had that
Learning
game.
how to play heroes.
Dire team
Just
ban.
learning how to play a team game, which is Dota. So it went really well in game number 1. Don't have much else to say about it. So let's get into game number 2. Here is your draft, and here is how the things are going to get started. Root Gaming put priority in banning out, of course, the Disco Pony. They rid of the pesky Naga. Over on the side of Digital Chaos, they opt to get rid of the Tusk, a Dark Seer, and that means that Bounty Hunter is going to be opened up, and that will be their first grab.
That's really rough. It's a rough opener for Root. I mean, first pick, I think, has advantages, although some people prefer having side, but in this particular game, looks like first pick is advantageous because of what has slipped through.
Bounty was banned last time, but do you go for an immediate counter? Some teams consider reaching for like a Spirit Breaker.
It's not, it doesn't seem like their playstyle. Like last game, they just try to out farm the other team and then maybe fight with farm. Like I think Spirit Breaker requires like really crisp execution, fighting all the time, and just havoc in all 3 lanes, which Root just simply did not create last game.
You say it's against their playstyle, but the thing is, do they even know what their playstyle is yet? The old Root Gaming, yeah, it was very farm based. You have Monkey's Forever who likes to play like PL, but
it's sort of like a pub mentality, I want to say. There's not that much 5-man. Like when did they ever 5-man? Like they tried to smoke at times, but it was like super obvious.
Yeah.
Like I've seen more obvious smokes in my.
a couple of picks here and there, of course, to get a catch on, let's say, like Owie or BBRU. But yeah, I agree with you. Overall, there didn't seem to be a lot of, hey, everyone, let's get together and make something happen top. We're ready to take a fight, and if they don't come, we get a tower anyway.
Yeah, there was like
a lot of that from Digital, but not from them.
The early game was just like, okay, well, like Tuts expected a tower dive. Like he was sitting in the tower, except nobody even had a TP. Like they couldn't even think about TPing because they didn't have one. So like that alone tells you that no one's prepared for this. Like they're not prepared to help each other out as a team. They were like trying to stack for Storm, but again, that's more of a pub thing than trying to actually, you know, move all together, try and get kills, move as a team. And they made some plays here and there, but it's always like 2 or 3 man packs, and like it's just not the kind of havoc that Bloodseeker needs in order to thrive in a game. So I'd be very surprised if they went back to a Bloodseeker. Secondly, I don't know if they can pull off a Spirit Breaker counter, because it sounds easy, but it's not actually that easy, because generally bounty hunter teams will respond by having like 3 people protect the charge target.
Yeah.
So you need a lot of.
There was a strategy pulled out here. I believe it was EG against Vici Gaming, where they knew that they were going to put a lot of priority in getting an early bounty hunter for FY, and they had to counter then. And I want to say it was PBD Tree, and
Tree's
that's
really
when
good.
they ran the offlane Enchantress as well. That game. Do you remember seeing that game? It was Universe Offlane Enchantress. They had PBD Tree, and FY ended up going like 0-8-0 that game. It was a record-breaking, terrible game from FY, but he had nowhere to go. It seemed like they had an answer for him. He'd pop up. There'd be a tree armor. You can't jump on an Enchantress. You try to hit an Janata going as slow as molasses. It just seemed very awkward.
though.
That's EG, though. I know.
They also have really strong laners. Like their laners are very, very self-sufficient, whereas Monkeys, like he needed a little bit of help from Lion, and he still got pressured by Lina.
Yeah.
You have Waga, who did okay at the start, but he wasn't really able to do anything with his Orb of Venom and his very aggressive hero. Like it thrives on, like, you have Bounty Hunter trying to like protect your lanes as opposed to trying to get kills in lanes. I feel like if Root were trying to do something like that, but let's see, how do they manage to deal with the Bounty Hunter? Winter Wyvern is mediocre, I would say. It's, you can't really go toe to toe versus Bounty Hunter, and Bounty Hunter also has a lot of burst.
Radiant team ban.
But it's an interesting.
Well, they follow up that Wyvern. They get a Clockwork, a good, strong off laner, I imagine, for Schwan to hold in the off lane. But that does leave Lina once again, the precious Lina, out here for Digital Chaos. We already saw what Yawar could do in the last game. Ridiculous amounts of farm. Quickly threw together the Yules, went down the path of a Bloodstone, then your Ags. Even had room for like a Lincoln's in there. It was all over the place.
I think it would have been better for them to take the Lina, because like now, not only do you have to deal with a Lina in mid, you have to deal with a Lina plus a Bounty Hunter. That's just awful to deal with.
That's
like,
easy track gold right there.
Yeah, that's
track
easy.
zap. money.
Yeah, that is like. I mean, Lena puts out a lot of pressure before 6. You don't even need a Zap people.
Radiant
Like
team banned.
it's already like super bad for the mid laner. Monkeys is not like a super strong mid laner compared to Yawar, let's say. So like he's already underhanded slightly in the skill matchup. He's underhanded in the hero matchup, and he's underhanded in the roaming matchup. So like he has all these things working against him. I don't really know how they're going to pull a win in mid. Like you want to win at least one of your lanes. So it's definitely not going to be mid in this one.
Sure, Digital Chaos probably considering another Biru Rubik as a possibility for them. This seems like such a good grab against your Clockwork. He is a 4-staff candidate. Obviously, his lift works very well with the interaction of cogs, being able to get yourself out of trouble, get Clockwork away from being able to catch an ally who could be in trouble. And we already saw that he does play the hero, so it could be a possible option for them. I don't know if it's justified enough that Root Gaming would have to ban it out here. Probably looking to what Waga could be considering for his grab.
They
TA on
maybe they go for a TA. The anti-mage pickup. It's surprising that I guess Root. It's fine for Root to ban. Digital Chaos they banned it last game, but they also had the Lena. Like Lena, I think deals with anti-mage pretty well, especially if you have the potential to aggro. But I don't know if either of these teams are going to aggro.
We'll have to see. They're going in next. They could possibly round out secondary support, something a bit more greedy now that they've already picked up this Wyvern here.
Wyvern's pretty nice, actually, I think, to play aggressively in the mid lane if you're dire.
So Nico does it beautifully.
So Nico does a good job, but that's Nico. Like
but he shows the potential of what this hero can do. He doesn't have to be a very defensive Dazzle-like support. He can get some boots. He can go to the mid lane. Arctic Burn is so ridiculously good, even at just level 1. The range is out of control. It's not that hard to connect all 4 or 5 hits of it at the start, and that means the opposing laner is going to be easily at like a quarter of his life. That's chewing through multiple tangos, multiple salves at the start. If you do it on a mid laner, that just crushes their whole first set of farms. So I agree with you. There's definitely aggressive potential there. We see him do those cheeky plays on Dire's side where he flies over the Ancients, over that cliff, and catches out the mid laner from behind. It's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I don't know who they can pair. Like, they might need like a Queen or something. I don't know. Queen matches up so poorly versus Lena, but you want someone with kill potential. Maybe like Shadow Fiend? I don't know.
This seems just out of left field right now. I mean, maybe if this was Virtus Pro, I'd be like, yes, the classic Illidan silencer we all know. But Root Gaming decide to go for a silencer. Is it that important to silence and shut down Lena from getting off her prize combo? I mean, does force her into a situation of having to picking up something like a BKB, which, like a Lena, you don't want to have to do.
Yeah,
if you're getting a silencer just for the Lena, that seems a bit hard.
They could also be looking as a strong zoning support. So they might be really focused on the other lanes aside from mid. I mean, you can even try and zone mid with silencer, although that's really risky with a bounty hunter. So there are some huge benefits of silencer aside from that. I mean, it's obviously really good for stuff like Phoenix and Storm Spirit, but those are not in the game right now. So I tend to think of it a little as you do. It's like, okay, well, he's also food for Bounty Hunter later.
Yeah.
Like, you can Janata plus Shuriken before he can react. Almost always. So, I mean, later on, he's just a walking plus 300. So, I'm a little bit scared for Silencer and Winter Wyvern. They need to be able to, I think, play together as like a unit pretty often, so they don't get picked off, as well as get their levels. So it's pretty difficult to do both.
Do you think they need to play together even from the start? One designated as like a zoner for whatever.
They could also dual lane mid. We've seen dual lane mids with Winter Wyvern pretty commonly, I would say, versus Alina plus Roam, Alina plus Bounty Hunter in particular. So that's not that bad. I'm talking about like mid to later, like first nighttime. I think is when things can really start getting out of control. And Bounty Hunter hits 6, and then your supports are like still level 3 or 4. That's a really slippery slope.
Wind Ranger, the redheaded one, going to be picked up 4th here for Root Gaming as what looks like their Wagamama pick in the mid lane, and there's not much hesitation. Digital Chaos pick up an Undying. My first impression is it's an Undying into a Wind Ranger who typically can deal with a Tombstone pretty well, but it feels like Digital Chaos had other plans for this Undying. Like they knew they were going to go for this.
It's just to put pressure on lanes. Like Lena, very strong laner. Razor you can just leave him alone so your supports can roam. And Undying is also one of those like offlane heroes where like you have to always be scared of like a Tombstone plus Bounty Hunter running in on you. So it's just to create presence in all 3 of their lanes and just try and dissect Root from like the first nighttime. I think like first nighttime is going to be really trying for Roots. Wind Ranger's a good pick because she can just wind run her way. That's pretty nice. And she also matches up, I would say, pretty well in the mid lane. She's a fairly strong mid lane hero. But at the same
5
time,
seconds remaining.
I don't really know how they're going to be able to actually get all these kills so that Silencer and Winter Wyvern
time.
can get their levels as well as just be able to deal with the Bounty Hunter later.
Now, are we anticipating this is going to be possibly a dual offlane setup here for Digital Chaos to have to deal with the hefty zoning potential of either the Silence or the Wyvern? Put Undying +1 in that. You could still have Bounty Hunter roam about. You could have a strong lane-dependent, like Lina, let's say, maybe in the safe lane. I could be going far-fetched. TC does play it. And then Razor mid, but I don't know if Yawar plays that too much. Or do you anticipate they're just going to get one solo
Razor
offlaner to have to
safe
deal with
versus Clock. That's fine. That's really good for Razor.
Yes.
I mean, he might not kill him, but he should be able to get a lot of farm. Lina versus Wind Ranger. Lina wins most matchups mid, so I don't really foresee her having a problem there. And Undying, yeah, I would say the strongest route for Luna's really difficult to lane against. So like she does so much damage with 3 heroes, especially like an Orb Walker like Silencer and someone with a slow like Winter Wyvern. Like that is very, very dangerous. And they also have a lot of physical damage to deal with the Undying. So that's that. I like the Luna pick here. She is very susceptible to just dying to Lina and Bounty Hunter later. So on top of that, you could just also aggro try if you wanted to. You could like Razor plus Undying +1 and have Bounty Hunter
5 seconds
Bounty Hunter do his own thing. So I don't know. The Luna pick is like really, really scary though if I'm Digital Chaos. Like it's a very high risk, high reward to try and contest her farm.
It was at TI where we saw a certain How just kind of reached in and pulled out the Luna out of nowhere, earned the respect of RTZ even to pick it up in their next secret matchup, and she kind of stepped in. Yeah. Some people felt that at the time it was like almost the poor man's Gyrocopter, since Gyrocopter was such a first pick priority that if you didn't have access to him, you could still get someone like Alina to somewhat fill that void as far as the farming and the team fight and being able to get a lot done, but she also just offers so much uniqueness to her own. In this case, as you already pointed out, she has like this aura. She can add so much extra damage.
It's not only that; it's the nighttime vision. The nighttime vision is incredibly good. Like I thought their main weakness would be first nighttime, but with Luna, like they're actually always stronger during nighttime because of that. And like it's something very difficult to see as a spectator because you always have full vision, but it is like something that's incredibly difficult to play against.
The final pick for Digital Chaos is indeed going to be a run back. The Rubik Biru is going to be sported once more, and as I said before, it's a great matchup against your Clockwork, being able to deal with the cogs here. If somehow you're lucky enough to snag maybe a global, but if Silencer's doing his job, he's hiding in the dark when he usually has to get that off. But there's still a lot of decent options out there. You can always grab up anything from your Winter Wyvern to make it work. Hell, maybe an Eclipse if you kind of get in the right spot at the right time. But just overall, a standout support that offers a lot. We'll have to see if he's going to be partaking in any sort of aggro setup, though, in the early laning stage here. I imagine there's just going to be a lot of movement from both sides trying to read where they're going based off just even the first rune spawn and then just make some audible calls from there on out.
5 seconds remaining.
What's strange about Ruslan is they don't really have that much to dump into the... Like, you want a lot of burst during global. You want that global to be like, okay, this is 4 seconds. This is our time. We're just going to destroy you. You cannot touch us during global. But it's like, what do they have? Like Winter Wyvern with his Winter's Curse. That's like a lot of overlap. You don't need to use that during global. You have Eclipse, which I think is probably the best one. You have Clockwork, which is like mediocre. There's still not that much damage coming out in between the two heroes. And Wind Ranger, who doesn't actually have that much burst. She needs like Scepter plus like Maelstrom, which is 25, 30 minutes in generally. So it's not the best synergy, I think, from Root. I still think the Silencer pick was a little bit early. It doesn't hard counter anything on Digital Chaos. There's no Enigma, no Storm that you can really capitalize on and just pick off during the global.
Here we go, folks. It's going to be game number 2 of this best of 3 Digital Chaos. Going to be going again toe-to-toe to Root Gaming here as things do get fired up and underway. Xuan takes the opportunity, TPs to the bottom, plants down 2 wards, one to block out the camp, and then even one right behind it to get it from the other side. This is going to be very difficult. Biru only has 1 sentry, so it looks like that camp could be blocked no matter what. And Clock in a matchup in his offlane going against 2 isn't the worst thing ever. So I don't anticipate Xuan's going to have too terrible of a time getting what he needs as a Clockwork in the offlane for Root. And look at Owie, the cheeky bounty hunter player, already getting lots of intel, going in very deep, very early here. He's going to spot out Dirk from behind. It looks like the aggression could be coming out in this top rune Merlini. Bulba, though, on your Undying, very good at fighting at level 1, but it looks like Digital Chaos are going to be handing it over. And it's going to be Monkeys Forever who does pick up the top rune. TC gets the bottom rune on his Razor.
It's a smart move by Digital Chaos to back off. You generally think you're stronger at level 1 with the Undying, with Decay, but again, level 1 Lunar Blessing is like no joke at all. And it was a 4-on-4 even matchup in that particular area. And Owie gonna start with the love on Monkeys, it looks like.
No shared sentry at the start. Typically, you know, I'm going against a bounty hunter, I'm supporting, I'm like, here, take this sentry, you're going to be in trouble at the start, and we see it right here. Owie even pulling out the body blocks, is going to get a few extra pokes in, and this is an Orb of Venom. Oh man, Monkeys eats a lot of damage just from that little skirmish, and all in the meanwhile, yep, Derp actually gets the kill. And we talked about during the draft the huge zoning potential that's offered between a Silencer and a Wyvern, especially with that level 1 Arctic Burn, and it is going to take Bulba down.
Yep, Lunar Blessing. You just can't do anything in the lane, and that's really bad for Undying. Undying's time to shine is like first 15-20 minutes. If you have an early death in lane, like you're on that path where you might just be useless all game instead of just past 15.
That's why I figured maybe the Rubik would go up there to help him out. But
yeah, but again, like, would you rather?
Monkeys is going in. He pulls out the wind run, walks right into an LSA. The back end of it, they're going to man up on each other, and Monkeys will get the kill. Does lose his own life. Owie's able to finish off the trade there at the end. Continued bloodshed here. Mid lane's going to be losing one from each side. And as we touch base with bottom, B-Ryu still trying to juggle around with these sentries a bit. Puts the one down, but he doesn't find either. Even the one that is spotted in the trees, he doesn't go in there to spot it. He's just looking over here near the bush spot, and he's going to be running around.
Really good for Monkeys that he got that kill, though.
Yes.
Like, and there's continued bloodshed in mid, because he was already low. Like, he needed the fairy over a salve, but that's easier said than done against a bounty hunter. So he gets a free heal, and he gets a kill with that. Whereas Digital Chaos, they get a kill, but they have to commit 2 heroes, and they give Wind Ranger a free trip back to the fountain, and she's also much closer to her bottle than Yawar is.
This Luna, though, continuing to kind of do as she pleases. We saw a bit of this from the last game in Wagon as Bloodsinger. Good early CS boost here. Not much contention, though, in this lane. Bulba still stuck at his own. Derp is just, don't even think about it. I have this Arctic Burn still on hand, but they're not looking to trade right yet. Silencer Jaw nearby. Yeah. His camp looks like it is blocked, so he'll just kind of work with the smaller camp instead, just kind of poking at it a bit, but not really able to get a whole lot done. And
it's also 3 range heroes that Bulba's against, which makes it incredibly difficult to get like a 2 or 3 man decay. So like his chances of surviving this lane are like pretty bad.
Now he heads bottom, but it looks like Schwan is going to be doing the cog block here instead. So walk it back and away here. Bulba gets his own bit of harassment here. Both off laners kind of getting put into check.
How was this? There was a creep that was stuck like outside of the cog. Like, I don't even know how that's possible.
It's Dota. They'll probably fix that before the play button, though, I'm sure. But here we go. Monkeys forever. Continues to get poked. Push back away a little bit here. It's 15-5.
Interesting build.
For Yawar.
0-2-2 from Wind Ranger.
No early shackle shot here. More emphasis on the wind run instead. Just to kind of have it a bit longer, I suppose.
It's only one more second. Yeah, I mean, Shackle's so useful, though. Like, the thing about Wind Ranger, level 1 Shackle's like useless. So he would probably get level 1 Shackle at like 8, I would assume, at this point. So that means you're not really super useful until like level 12, which is such a late part in the game. But if it prevents like 1 or 2 deaths, then it's going to be worth it. But oftentimes, I don't think the 1 second is worth it on one run. Sometimes you'll see some people go like a max 0-4-4, but that's generally when you're playing super aggressively on the mid and you're taking tower a lot. And that's something that having the increased duration is like extremely useful for. But I don't foresee Monkeys really diving all that often.
Maui is going to spout out Jaw, and he's thinking about blocking this camp. He will.
Oh, does this Sentry Ward not see that? Oh my goodness. That's like clipping the ward.
You're right. That's a photo finish right there and being able to get the catch.
That was really nice placement by AUI. He's
both sides got their own little respective block on the camp pulls. So, but yeah, I agree. That could have made things even a lot worse for Bulba, but because of the creative placement, he's going to be able to kind of still be able to be close enough, and there's going to be no pull camp harassment coming up from the side of Root Gaming. Continued trades here in the middle from both sides. Yawar kind of pulling ahead slowly with the
AUI trying to go for a kill here.
But
and there's Rubik
behind, and Monkeys in a very back position, but Biru's there. And that means the lift's going to come out, throws it right towards Yawar. A beautiful setup into the LSA. He's going to be popping the wind run here, looking to head south to make it away. A TP is coming, 2 of them actually. Digital Chaos in big trouble. Huge damage comes out from the power shot, and Biru's going to be the first to go down. Owie's able to get Invis and make it away. It ends up being just the one-man drop. They can't get Monkeys forever. It does force out 2 rotations from Root, but they will not lose their precious little Wind Ranger.
Okay, so the real question is, did 2 points in Wind Run make a difference there? I don't think so.
Is there a 1 sec difference between
he
finished off?
popped the win run before the lift, which was the big deal. So I'm still trying to figure out whether or not it's worth it. And I guess it could have been worth it. So that's probably actually enough for him to justify it, just because he knows he's under a lot of
Look at
pressure.
them come in here. They smoked, and now they're looking to return their own bit of love. Yawar is able to get in a good position running down, out, and below, but it's not going to be enough. That long-range Arctic Bird's going to keep them slow, but look at this. Another retort, this time from Digital Chaos. They get a pullback on the jaw, and they're going to be able to finish off the silencer. Ends up being another 1-for-1 trade.
If Derp had Cold Embrace there, I think he would have lived. So that's also another skill build that's a little bit unusual.
Not the 1-1-1, yeah. The 1 straight
is,
to 2.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing aggressively, though. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, that
it's not
helps.
bad.
The
It's
extra
just,
bit of burst
different.
damage on pickoffs like that cannot be discredited. But
Where are the wards from Root? Like, Digital Chaos like playing super aggressively, and they're doing a really good job anticipating their movement, but at the same time, they have like no vision anywhere.
Derp's in trouble, and he has no Arctic Burn, so he is got to wait 4 more seconds for even the flight to be there. Look at this turnaround. Dust comes out from Jaw. They're going to quickly dish out the curse. They're trading between the two of them, and they're going to be able to take down Owie. And whoa, a shot out of nowhere from Monkeys Forever. Little Robin Hood's able to catch that one, and Owie will go down. Root Gaming now pulling ahead 5-2 in the early game.
The supports are playing so much better than last game. Like, they're anticipating the movements. They're like TPing and responding. Like, it's completely different from last game. It's like two different support players.
It's a warm-up. That's what they say. Just took a simple warm-up, and now they're all in unison, and they have been practicing their team communication skills.
One big deal was that Monkeys got that kill, though. If he didn't get that kill in mid, he'd be like super far behind. But he was like ahead in his bottle. He's like ahead in levels, so
He's 3-1 now.
yeah, he's actually doing really well in the mid lane. It was a very good pick that they picked up the Wind Ranger.
Biru, who desperately needs a little bit of that solo time here, is trying to soak it up in the mid lane, just kind of inching in for a quick grab with the Fade Bolt as Yawar is working with the stacks nearby, or at least making some stacks. Farming it through. No, they need to give a little bit of love that secondary support. We touch base with Bulba here, still at a fresh level 5. Haven't seen the Tombstone yet, but obviously there really hasn't been opportunities there. He continues to just kind of get spanked in this lane. Forced back as he sees the Arctic Burn come
Clockwork
out.
getting dove on bottom.
Oh, there it is, a committed dive. Good jump, and that means that they're going to get the kill. Owie is there. Still level 3, but more importantly, it's going to be TC who picks up that kill.
Again, always really good movement by AUI. Constantly searching their top jungle, seeing what the supports are up to. He didn't get the kill on Winter Wyvern, but he still like pressured them. It's like, okay, you better think twice about stacking. He put a lot of pressure on the Wind Ranger and got a kill on Clock. So he is doing a really good job of just controlling most of the map. And Biru on the opposite side, like he is, he was hyped up a lot before this game, but I haven't really seen anything particularly special from him yet.
We'll have to see if the young Padawan will be able to get anything done. This one goes to the cliff. Biru throws Monkeys Forever up, but he does have a TP, so sends himself right back to mid lane. Bit of an inconvenience, though, if he wanted to rotate in and help out this top push, and also will be losing the 100 gold. So
yeah, but Biru is actually like the lowest level in the game right now. He is.
Yeah. You got to remember at the start, he was juggling with those wards quite a bit. They put down the 2, so he was trying to find the 1, running around.
He was the casualty in the mid lane.
Yeah, he ended up going down. They made the committed dive to go for Monkeys, and it's been a tough life at the early start, but we'll see if they end up finding at least a lane for him to work with. As I'm sure at some point, Yawar or maybe even TC will need to kind of step back, farm some Ancients or jungle, and leave a lane for him. But Chuan is now on the prowl. He is level 6.5 on his Clockwork, looking to put a hook shot to use here. Owie's nearby, should be able to spot him from the high ground. There's the ping, and the Shackle will not be connecting from Monkeys Forever. Had it connected, could have been very drastic there for Yawar.
Owie was in position to block it, though.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So
good heads up.
I don't think it would have led to a kill either way.
And he had no dust, so they couldn't have even converted onto that instead. Meanwhile, back at top lane, they are still trying to siege down this first tower, this tier 1 between the 3 of them. Bulba continues to stand here, still not at level 6, but this time he's got Biru by his side, and they're not going to follow through with the
Glyph is down, though. They have to make this defense right now, or else they're going to.
And TC shows up right on the money. TP's to the back tower here.
They need a lift into a static link with the Tombstone to support. That is the best way to start off a fight. And are they going to smoke behind? Oh, yep. Lena coming in. Here they go. Yep, 3 people.
Here they go.
This is like a really important moment for them. Like if this fight goes wrong, they lose the tower. If this fight goes well, that tower stays up and Waga's dead.
You gotta be careful. If you go too deep into Waga, it's gonna be right into a face first eclipse here, but they're not going to catch it. Look at Root Gaming with the presence in mind. They're able to just kind of sidestep, get back behind the tower here, and Digital Chaos convert it into a ward placement for now. But they're not going to follow up. Oh, at the rune, though, they see Monkeys. Monkeys immediately win run. Got to get the hell out of there. Runs away from the static link and will not be caught out. So this smoke looks like Merlini will be coming up short.
Yeah, that's really good for Root.
Very good.
It took them a long time, though. They had to wait for Yawar to TP in, and then they smoked. I think if they just smoked as 2, they would have caught Luna with the creep wave, and then they can kill her before the Eclipse comes off, and then they'll be okay.
They want to go on Waga, though. Top lane, Telekinesis pull back here. Fade Bolt, he is very low, getting whipped down a bit. Can't find the space to get off an Eclipse or anything here. He's just trying to run. Derp, Cold Embrace him soon, for God's sakes. No! Not going to be happening. He's going to get dropped. Could have dropped nonetheless, but still a lot of time to push, and that means that the rest of Root Gaming, and this trifecta, including Monkeys Forever with a DD rune, they're going to muscle down this tower. Owie, nearby. Don't think he'll be going for deny. He's just going to wait it out. So
they don't die. They don't die to the smoke, but they die after the smoke. Like, where's Clockwork? Where is like Wind Ranger? Like, these heroes should like burn them when they like you shackle or you hookshot and then you eclipse, and that fight is immediately turned around. But like their teamwork is. It was really good for the first like 6 or 7 minutes during the laning phase and protecting the Wind Ranger, but after that, like, they need to get this tower down. They need Luna to be able to free farm the lane, free farm the jungle while stacking Ancients.
Yeah, I agree. They've been persistent quite a while for getting this tier 1 tower, but then they sent the majority of their team back towards the bottom. But here's Monkeys again. Now he's going to join them at the top. They finally want to finish off this tier 1. It doesn't look like Digital Chaos are going to do anything about it this time. Though as I say that, they do start migrating that way. Yawar is leading out the front here, trying to get closer and closer to that Yules. There is going to be the first TP here. This one going to be from b.ru here. Looks to move in. Derp, soaking up the damage. Uses the Cold Embrace on himself, which makes for an easy LSA Laguna. And Yawar will get the easy kill and grab there. All right. Well, a bit unfortunate. I mean, I understand for Derp. He was just trying to soak up as much damage from the tower and allow his team to just finish it off. But the timing, unfortunate there. They still get the tower, and it is going to be
bottom. Dust comes out. They want to go on AUI.
There it is. They get off the curse. They got the vision, and it should be a quick pick, and it will be. So, a support for a support in the end. And also a tier 1 tower, though, for Root. That makes it 2 all day for them.
Sounds just getting a good amount of intel. 10 intel. This is a really good 12 minutes in as a support.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You are right. Has he just purchased something as well? He's going for a Midas, maybe? I don't know if that glove belongs to him, or maybe just his treads. Yeah, just treads. Okay. Don't need to go that greedy. Fair enough. In this kind of a game, if you do manage to get a luxurious build-up Merlini on your silencer, are you one of the straight-to-refresher kind of ones? I know Fluff, he's a big advocate on stepping off for the Agnums.
I really dislike Ags.
I mean, I agree, but Fluff...
Xuan going for the Clockwork hook onto b.ru, and b.ru is dead. Looks like more int will go Jaw's way.
Very nicely done.
And they find the stack.
But they don't do it.
They need to do it.
Maybe not.
But they're going to take a mid-tower
first. They're going mid lane, yep. They're going to make the jump. Oh, Curse going to be on Yawar. He's going to lock him in place, and they get the kill. Derp secures it with the ice shards there.
Ooh, they blew
engagement.
One too many spells. They blew the Eclipse for that, which it means I don't think they can get the tower now.
Blew their load a bit too soon. The Shackle not going to connect, but Owie is level 6 now, and the tracks start flying out. They see the repositioning here. Derp moving out to the side, but they don't know Zhuan's there. He does have a dust. He pops it. But Owie is already out the other way. Does not want to risk going in.
They don't have anything.
Yeah, so they pull back.
No Winter's Curse. No Global. No hook shot. Again, they just blew one too many ultimates. Like, if Luna were around that area, they could, like, proceed with the dust, but, like, DC, even though they are one hero down, they still are in, the driver's seat.
Don't mean to make a call out here. It has been quite the tame Undying game, though, so far. I've yet to see him really kind of unleash his Walking Dead Fury, and, well, on cue. He's going to dish out the Tombstone, a quick pullback, and Waga has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It is free track gold right there for Digital Chaos. And
relying too much on the night vision there. That pretty much gives Rubik his 6-2, and, of course, track gold. Yum, yum.
Such a fun thing here. Root Gaming, back at mid lane. They want to finish out this final tier 1 tower.
They get the tower in mid, but it's not worth it. Like, Luna has died twice. First time, I think her team should have reacted. Second time, I think that it's not an obvious smoke gank, but it's, you know, it was maybe a little bit of overconfidence. Like, again, Lunar Blessing is really good, but not when they smoke.
Well, they don't look to defend their top. Instead, Derp goes back to that stack that was pointed out before. Even stacks it again. And they're like, we're going to try to take it. This is a lot of money.
Go.
That's tower gold right there in itself.
It is. And, like, Last game, 9-minute Yules. This game, still working on it. 15 minutes in. So like it's completely different from how they handled the Lina last game. And this is with a bounty hunter on his side to begin with. So that's, again, really, really good for Root that she's that underfarmed. Wind Ranger going for the Maelstrom first. I think Scepter first has been a little bit more conventional, but Maelstrom still ton of damage output. They're not going to have BKBs anytime soon.
All right, big boy B-Roo is going to put that aggressive ward. If you put it up there, it's a common spot, just telling you. Okay, so he puts it up there. I don't know if they had vision of it. Doesn't look like it, so they're going to have a lot.
They're looking to pick off Luna with this. Like they know she's going to be in her jungle. They know she's not that close to BKB. She has an HOD, so she's likely going to be farming up in that area, and she is the best person to kill.
I think they're pinging it out though, and Derp does have a sentry on.
Oh, she has Yules now. Okay.
Oh, but they see this. They're rotating over. Even a courier flying by. Well, this is very sketchy from
Wind Ranger has a lot of farm too. So Maelstrom's like about equivalent to the Yules, and then he has a point booster on top of that, as well as FaZe, and Lina just has brown boots, so he is doing very, very well relative.
Any like real importance to why it has to be a Maelstrom in this particular kind of game? Does it help being able to bring down the tombstone and all those freaking zombies?
It's just more damage, so you can actually kill people with focus fire. It's shaping up to be a far more aggressive game than last game.
Ooh, silence comes out. They're trying to save Schwan, and it looks like it might do it this time. Now they do intercept Jaw. I don't know if you want to be there fighting. He tries to go for an admirable TB. Will the lift be there? No, not in time. B-Roo's not going to be close enough to catch off the telekinesis, and that means Schwan's going to make it away. It does cost them the global silence simply to save their clockwork. But
it also helps you farm a lot faster. Like if you're just purely farming, Maelstrom's way better. I think Maelstrom Scepter is much better build-up than Scepter Maelstrom. But if you think you're going to die, then Scepter is much better. So it depends on what he thinks he's going to be doing. And looks like he thinks that he's weathered the beginning part of the game, which was Bounty Hunter roaming on him, which he did fantastically well. And he can go for the more risky Maelstrom first. So it's pretty good. It'll pay off.
All right, Waga moves in the jungle, and a little Owie does know this is happening here. No team really close enough to help him converge. TC's farming out this mid lane, but the rest of the company of the Digital Chaos Boys are going to be able to finish out this bottom tier 2 tower.
They need Ancient stack on Luna. I think their slow part right now is Luna doesn't have a BKB. And once Luna gets a BKB, they can start pressuring before Lina gets Scepter, which is a pretty big window considering how underfarmed Lina is at this point.
There is stacks, but they also just got spotted out right now from Owie.
They take out the stacks. They do Roach at some point, maybe, because all the T1s are down on DC. Like, they can't really push out the lanes that well. So take out the stacks, get a BKB, take a big fight ideally, and then I thought I heard a Laguna.
Flirting with this tier 2 tower, gets off some good damage. Once he sees the second TP coming in the form of Yawar, he's like, okay, I got to get the hell out of here. Yawar is very fast with that Yules. Oh boy, he's running. He's trucking there. He might be able to make it, catches it with the Yules, but Waga is there, pops him in the head with a quick catch of the Eclipse and finishes him off. Oh, nicely baited right there from Monkeys Forever, unintentional or not. It worked out beautifully.
Jaw going for it.
Yep, Jaw and Owie manning up mode. He gets the sentry down, and now Owie realizes he's in trouble, but B-Roo looks to intercept, gets the lift, pull back. Is it going to be enough? He might decide to just turn and fight, but it's going to be too late. Bulba even comes to intercept. B-Roo is going to get that kill. Here comes the rest of the help, though. Derp looking to sweep in from behind, pops into Arctic Burn, but they want to fight around this tombstone. Waga, though, he's going to be there to chop it down. Tombstone gets dropped, and Digital Chaos will not pursue any further. A 1-for-1 trade that is more profitable, I'd have to say, for Root Gaming. They get Yawar down, and they get that extra kill on their side. I believe Waga did pick it up. He did.
I still don't know where like all the supports are. Like Waga was there to help out the Wind Ranger, which is a really big deal, but like no one was there to help out the Silencer. He's like really close to his T2, whereas Wind Ranger was out in the middle of nowhere. So, like, I don't know where, like, the cold embraces have been. I haven't seen... I don't think I've seen one this game. But they now finally have control of the Ancients. So Waga is going to go do them. And they also, like, have mad sentries around that area and observer wards. So he best feels safe.
Lots of gold to be picked up here from
This will be his BKB. Let's see if they want to do anything about it.
Owie's heading that way.
Yeah, they might try and pick him off, though. Clockwork's not in position quite yet. He is kind of blocked by Derp at this very moment, but they're going to see him walk up this hill right now.
Yep, they do. What are they going to do about it? Where's our Clockwork at? Juan to come fight. There's Juan. Let's go. Okay, they move in. Owie's going to get cocked in the head. Will be brought down a bit. Global's going to be flying out here. TC just charges right in, now leaving his team back in the wake as he tries to finish off Jaw desperately, but not be able to get him. Curse flies out on the other side as we slow pan back on down. Owie very low, TC's like, I'm going to just
they're just taking the stack. So, Waga's like, WTF, guys, what are you doing?
Clockwork, let's get in there. He's got the hook shot ready, but he's dealing with these little undying zombies here, and, well, he can't get around the corner. It's a very awkward spread fight from both sides here. TC's going to move on in, get good damage on the monkeys, almost enough to finish him off. One more strike could do it here. Meanwhile, Lena gets the finish on Silencer. He is going to get the finish connection right there. And now we look to Yawar here. Yawar going to get caught with the Winter's Curse.
Oh my
Derp,
God.
Derp, though, it's not going to be enough. Able to fly up to the high ground, but it's disaster for Root Gaming. They crumble one by one, only losing Yawar. That means the stack is going to be farmed up right here for TC. That is huge.
That is the worst possible outcome for this fight.
That was just such awkward. I mean, okay, they're fighting around this like big U-turn, half on one side, half on the other.
This is where a few heroes should shine. Firstly, Wind Ranger should shine because she's like, she can have like fantastic positioning like in the trees or up the hill and then just line them up for Shackle and then just own them. Clockwork can separate them. Like he hook shots in the middle, he cogs a couple, and then the guy that's out in front just gets destroyed. Like where was any of this the stuff coming on? Like Winter Wyvern with the Winter's Curse like on like 3 people. They had Global Silence. Like they had everything necessary. I don't think Waga was in the wrong at all trying to do the Ancient Stack. They had just gotten a kill on Lena. But where was his team? Like like Monkeys actually I think was the big problem because he was at like 300 mana. He's trying to farm a Scepter, but your Scepter doesn't matter if you lose your Ancient Stack and you lose like all these heroes. Like it simply doesn't. Like you have to have Luna get her BKB, and now she's still working on her last piece where she should have had it like probably 3 minutes ago, I'd say. And now Roche is like not an option for them. They invested so much time. They invested a 2,000 gold item, like 5 minutes worth of stacking, as well as Luna's time trying to take down a stack, and they just steal it with Tombstone.
All those wonderful wards Root had to kind of protect that Roche area and that ancient area have now been taken away with the exception of one little sentry that doesn't even see anything.
That's the worst part.
They just walked in there.
Yeah.
And they knew Owie was there at the front. The little trumpet man carrying the flag is like, hey guys, I'm here. Yeah. You ready to make the jump happen? No. Root Gaming are like, I'll do a casual global here. We'll wait a little bit. There's a curse over there. And I agree with you. It just didn't seem cinched up. Root Gaming needed to be able to be there, choreograph their dance, and jump in and make it happen. Perform. Yeah, but it wasn't there.
Clockwork and Wind Ranger are both like not initiating when they need to be. Like Luna's there to follow, I guess, Winter Wyvern, but he was actually there for the fight. He tried to go on the Bounty Hunter as he was walking up the hill. So you can't really blame Derp for this, but like their whole team was just not on the same page. Like you have to protect the Ancient Stack. Like if you don't do it, that's fine, but you let the other team take it. That is like 1,500, 2,000 gold, and that's given to the other team. So that's like a 3,000 or 4,000 gold swing.
I mean, maybe we give a little bit of credit towards the side of Bulba. He did have a really nice tombstone down right in the middle, and it did seem to kind of perplex Root Gaming a bit more than it should have. Oh, whoa, what a Shackle is able to connect on Yawar, but he's got plenty of help. Follow up, though, from Juan. He's looking to commit on this. Self-Yules is going to be flying out from Yawar. There goes the Splinter Blast. Big damage, big catch. Solar not going to be enough to save him. They do end up losing Juan. Bulba eating a lot of the damage. Waga, though, manning up, coming in from behind with his new BKB, trying to take down TC, who is sapped up. The majority of the damage still stands strong. It's a triple kill for Waga as he cleans house. And just as we're getting ready to scrutinize Root Gaming for their team fight performance, they managed to wipe the floor. They only lose the Clockwork, and they completely take out Digital Chaos.
There they go. Like finally, they're as a team. Finally, there's a Shackle shot that comes out into a hook shot, into a global, and it all finally fell together.
That's what it's supposed to look like right there, and they get it done. Really flexing their muscle of team fight. They'll be able to profit by following it up with an objective here. They get their tier 2. They pull back. I mean, is it too late to quickly go over to the Roche area right now? Get some wards down, clear the vision, get it back in your favor, and maybe it's something you could kind of go for. But that is a...
They need a gem at some point to clear out the wards as well as deal with Bounty Hunter. I mean, Digital Chaos, they're mainly looking for picks, right? You're mainly looking for picks with like Bounty Hunter. You look, Bounty Hunter scouts someone out, Luna comes in and blows them up. That's generally what you want to happen. And then if the other team try to pressure you a lot, or you think they're only going to be as like 3, then you send 5, and then you Tombstone and crush them. But like they're fighting on 5 on the other side of the map and got caught out by Root.
Looks like they're waiting to smoke here. Biru's got the purple stuff.
It's because the Roche is...
They're pinging it like they're doing it right now. Yeah. They're pinging like they're doing it now. They're going to quickly make sure they can do this without, mommy and daddy.
Let's see if this illusion does any work in the mid lane. Oh, no. They sent one top, so they know that one is illusion.
Oh, they do smoke up. They're heading towards the pit. There's not going to be anyone there. They'll see when the smoke
should be, I think, a little bit closer.
They do it themselves, though.
Ooh.
Yes,
That's
they move
bold.
in.
Okay,
It's our time. Let's go.
They have rocket. They have power shot.
Yeah, they have rocket. They have plenty of way to detect it. They're just like, maybe they don't have global yet. Global will be up in 4 seconds. If they can see, the rocket goes over, but not close enough. But they ping it out. They do ping it out.
Okay, hook shot in, buddy.
He goes in. Gets a big catch on the TC. Going to get lifted immediately straight up and down, and they quickly disperse like cockroaches. Digital Chaos trying to make it out of the way. Aoi gets bumped up to the high ground from the cogs of Juan, and now Bulba even going to get stuck on the high ground, and he's just going to get shot down from Monkeys Forever. He's going to get dropped. Yawar, though, pushes on in, perseveres, trying to bring down the clockwork as all possible. TC, meanwhile, gets the leash, walking Waga away and into his own death. Monkeys Forever now looking to retreat and walk himself out from trouble. Yawar goes right back to work on the Roche. It looks like Digital Chaos will be able to sidestep out and then re-engage and get the win. Root Gaming not going to be able to make it work this time.
That was fantastic timing by Digital Chaos. So they wanted to go before the silence was up, because the reason why they won that big team fight is because there was a global into an eclipse. So both of those are pretty long cooldowns, whereas the longest cooldown they have is like, you know, around the 60-second area with like Tombstone plus Laguna plus Eye of the Storm. So they're a minute-based team, whereas Root is a 2-minute base team, so they try to find that window in between the 1 and 2 minute to go into the fight. Unluckily for them, they didn't have the global was still up, but Eclipse wasn't actually up. Like Luna, it's still up right now because she couldn't cast in that fight. So that was a really important timing. If he had his Eclipse up, he would have killed the Undying as well as Razor, and that would have been enough to turn that fight around. But instead, he had to run.
That just shows when a team is really thinking about Dota on a different level, being able to acknowledge, you know, where a team synergy really lies. They show it off in the top lane. Root Gaming get a huge fight when they have all these big bad ultimates to kind of flex, but with those big ultimates comes huge cooldowns, and DC clearly recognized that. They've timed it out. They're probably telling each other when they'll be up and at the ready, and they look for windows of opportunity to kind of jump in between those cooldowns and get something done. And this time it was a Roche and a huge fight. So.
Yeah, it's also unexpected. Like, you just lost a huge team fight. You got wiped like 5-1, and then the losing team just goes in and smokes Roche. So it's a very unexpected play. And again, I applaud DC for like being really quick on their toes. Like, this is play that's very difficult to predict, and it's also very well executed.
And with that, they are rewarded. Though the kill score still favors Root Gaming, you can see Digital Chaos are looking to take back the net worth, about to even at this point. XP is already in their favor here, but look at Root. They're smoked up on their own. They're going through the jungle, but they decide to backstep here once they see that Bulba and Yawar are nearby. They're close, but they're not looking to engage here. Schwann's there with a hook shot. He's going to time it out and get Yawar. No, he's going to cut south. Now it pops. Oh, going to get Yulesed instead. Does he try to go for the Valiant hook? Yawar sidestepping, trying to make his way through the trees, avoiding it, but their action already breaks out. They're going for Bulba from behind, and they're going to get the kill. Waga's able to pick that now. Hook shot forward. Connects onto Yawar. Tries to muscle him down with the battery assault, but does not have the cogs to lock him in place, already expending them on Bulba.
The track move speed. He had battery on. Normally you can't run away from a battery clock, but with battery soul and track and Yules.
Not going to be happening. Was pretty close to help as well, but I guess Root Gaming will just be happy with their one pick. Not really enough to kind of heal the wound of what happened previously in the Roche pit, but
the Razor's a pretty big deal now. Like, he had Ags, and he had Ags at top fight where he died, but he was still pretty close to killing the Luna. The bottom fight, he had Ags, and he was actually able to drain a lot of damage. And like, Luna's a low range hero. Like, you can't get in and out of a fight. You can't dodge a static link. If Razor just runs at you with the ultimate, you're gonna have to blow like a big cooldown, like hook shot or like Winter Wyvern ultimate, like something like that to stop him from sucking all your damage. So I don't actually know how they're gonna deal with the Razor in fights, especially now that he has the Aegis.
They're trying to just deal with them now as they rotate all the way to the top. They already have this nice deep ward on the side of Digital Chaos, so they see the rotations coming, and TC
trying's not good enough.
Hightails it out of there.
You can't just try and deal with them and then just let them run over your team. You have to have a game plan. You can't hope TC messes up.
I mean, they're valiantly running their bodies up there, but
hope he gets shackled. Hope he gets shackled. Hope he runs into all 8 cogs rather, and drains all his mana, so he doesn't have enough mana to cast Static Link. That's what you're hoping for.
Digital Chaos, though, starting to make home in the Root Gaming jungle. TC will lead out the front with that fancy new Aegis. Start whipping down this freaking tower here.
So the question is, are they going to push the third tower or not? They have a minute window, I think, with the Aegis up. Unfortunately, the Razor Ultimate is going to be down. So I don't know if they're going to do it. It's risky either way, but he just got his BKB, so it's a good timing in that sense, but it's a bad timing that the Aegis is about to expire and he doesn't have his ultimate. So
And we know Root Gaming have everything up and ready to go. So you dive into that base, you're welcome with a quick global silence, and you're not going to be too happy about that.
Okay, so Monkeys has a blink now. That is actually one way to deal with the Razor, is if you can get a blink shackle shop and pop them. You blink shackle, you global, and then you just pop them, and then you go for the rest of his team. So that is a really good way to start off the fight. So let's see if they can make it. Monkeys, it's on you, buddy.
It's going to be easy, though. He has to fight through a lot of sustain power. You can't forget about Bulba, though he's been pretty quiet throughout
Global,
this game.
though, dude. Global.
Yeah, you're right. But he's got Guardian Greaves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's actually true.
So he can just simply shrug off that silence, get the heal out, and then quickly deal out the dank rip,
still,
as my boy Mott likes to say.
BKB Eclipse, too. Like, that's a lot of damage. Like, or they could just, like, Winter's Curse the Razor, and then there's, like, very little you can do.
Oh, long jump. A hurdle. Coming out from Juan, trying to get Biru in the mid lane here, but like a Rubik does, throws him out. Get out of my face. Actually steals Cogs, pops his own, and gets the hell out of there. An ambitious effort from Juan, maybe trying to get a solo pick on a support, but not going to be happening.
Buy your Glimmer Biru before it's too late. Okay, he just did.
He's good. He's got it. Nice. We got a little Kobold Foreman here, joining the Root party here with his cup and all.
Okay, Dirter has a gem, so Root's doing the right stuff.
He's going right for here. He's going to get a couple of swills. He doesn't go. Come on, there's a ward right there. I guess he just doesn't want to risk going out that far, but this is an opportunity to catch a quick obs and a quick 50 pence. But the rest of his team in reserve, they are. You look at their vision, and they do not see any Digital Chaos members. He will get this ward though.
Lina has a good build too with the blink. The blink's really good because they often use global to counter initiate the Yules, but if they global the Yules, he just blinks out and then they trade global for Yules, which is really good.
This is going to be a lot of serious execution, though, from both sides, especially on the side of Root. I mean, we already saw a night and day difference between when they can make all their ults work and when they can't. So
yeah, the Shackle, the Winter's Curse, those are two spells that I'm looking. I guess Hookshot too, but Hookshot's not that big a deal because there's like BKBs and stuff now and Glimmers and whatnot. So I don't actually know how much that's going to do, but the Shackle shots.
How reliable is getting that good shit? Oh, the silence going to be breaking out top lane. They're trying to get a quick pick on Yawar here. Will they bring him down in time? They will. He's going to get dropped. Bulba not going to be able to save him on this one. Drops the tombstone and will decide to retreat. Shuriken able to bounce on through, but the one pick is there. And look at this. Waga dives past behind. Is going to get the Eclipse off. Is going to be taking down Bulba. That makes it 2. Aui's nearby, but Aui is able to make it out in that little closet. TP's away from trouble. Could have been a 3-man drop here, but Root get the jump. Lead in with Yawar and grab a couple of others. Hard to say what really happened at the start of that. Maybe Yawar just doing Yawar things kind of out on his own. Happy to try to just
He wanted to beat the global, but he took damage, so he couldn't blink.
Oh.
Well, looks like DC's quest to be second best team in NA is proving to be a more difficult road than expected.
Or maybe Root is just the dark horse of the NA scene. You never know. We'll have to see, but
could be
it's them ascending to the high ground here. And they're going to start dishing away here, and this is what Luna does best. Looking to rip down this tier 3, and that's when the show really starts. But obviously, DC, not going to let it happen easy.
What's interesting about Razor, too, is that Cold Embrace actually doesn't really do that much, because he'll just, like, if you Cold Embrace Luna, Luna will have 0 damage by the end of the Cold Embrace.
Yes.
So it's not a good counter at all. But Razor has to be involved in the fight, so Lena's off doing her own thing. It's a little similar to last game where, like, okay, Lena, why do you only have like 2 people with you? Why are you fighting without your entire team when you know that Root like 6th round is 5 a lot?
Well, if they do have a Force Staff, so if they Cold Embrace the Luna and she gets Static Link and they can do a Force Staff, they'll snap the Link. These are things I would look for.
Just Force Staff without the Cold Embrace.
Just move that Ice Block as far away from the base as possible.
Do they have a Force? Oh, they do.
They have a Force on Clock, and I don't think it'd be a stretch of the imagination for a Wyvern to pick up one. We'll see. But for now, it's DC on the prowl here. They smoke up, heading right through the secret shop. But Root Gaming, not having any of it, already in their own little...
Very smart timing with their smoke, though. They do it right before Roche, and here they go again. Let's see. Does a rocket come out? Does Power Shot come out? They have the tools.
Look to Schwan in 1 second. Fire it, boy. Fire it. He'll get the vision.
Yep.
Surprise. We know what's happening. Are they going to do anything?
Are they scared? You see a couple people backing off.
The body language. They're like, oh boy, it's coming. Where's it coming from, though? Monkeys Forever with that blink, mind you. Could get a big shackle and an Aegis snag here. Of course, you got the hook shot from Clockwork. Anything is possible. It's going to lead up with a Winter's Curse. A big one on the TC. There's a jump in for Juan, but Roche still stands. Another bump up to the high ground. Bulba now going to be trapped. Yawar in big trouble. TC will go down. It's a huge fight for Root Gaming to clear house. Waga's going to be able to pick up another going into a killing spree, and now Bulba is going to get dropped from the top. A double kill for Waga. Oh man, what a big catch right there for Root Gaming. Aegis even being snagged up from Monkeys Forever. 3 go down all day. Biru able to barely snake back to base.
Oh man, I can just imagine what's going through Digital Chaos's mind right there. They're like, you either have to commit right there or you have to back off. You can't hesitate at all. And 2 of them backed off. They're like, we don't want to take this fight. Others, they're like, whatever, we can fight. We have BKB and stuff. And then they just get over because there was hesitation. They thought the Tombstone was good enough, but I mean, Winter Wyvern flying over there with the Winter's Curse, that's what really sealed the deal. They got too much damage on TC before he could link anyone.
Now this will cost them. A tier 2 goes down. Do they push on forward? Still have 23 seconds without Yawar. About the same for TC. They can get a little bit of extra damage here, and Waga knows that top tier 3 was already very low. So he's happy to take that one, and I would imagine Root Gaming will disperse after this. Look, is there a split pushing all over the place? Merlini, bottom lane, Monkeys Forever is just focused firing down this tier 3. Still got a couple of seconds. He should be able to get it and snake out of there. Nicely done. Now everyone back in full force from the side of Digital Chaos. Are they going to look to engage and catch anyone on the way out? Oh, Yawar gets the first catch, annihilating Derp. Waga, rather, looking to hold strong here. It's pretty obvious he's going to have to hand over his own life. Creates a bit of extra space so the rest of Root Gaming can make it out on the bottom.
Why did...
But he handed over so much. 755 dominating streak. Just didn't want to bother getting back. Persistent on taking out those racks.
But why? That's... I don't think that's worth it. They lose two big heroes. Luna because it's Luna. Winter Wyvern because he had the gem.
Does have buyback. Doesn't want to have to be forced to use it, I imagine, but it doesn't look like he will be.
Yeah, that's really scary for them. I mean, I guess they thought that they could get 2 racks, both top and bottom, but they only get 1. They still have the Aegis, but I'm pretty sure that's going to go to waste because there's only 3 minutes left, and they give away the gem, so now Bounty Hunter can kind of do what he wants, and DC can regain a little bit of map control. What they need to do is kill Winter Wyvern. That hero is like a big problem. Like, I was like, first pick, let's see if Derp can play it, and like even just one really good Winter's Curse can justify the hero pick.
Kind of hard to stop a Winter Wyvern, at least in that Roche position. He did a very nice job flying up and over the cliffside right there, and gets good vision onto TC, and that leads to...
Isn't that ult like so much better than Roar?
Yes. It's like a ranged black hole roar. It's ridiculous.
What?
And it's a long range.
Does that mean Beastmaster's just super weak, or that Winter Wyvern's super strong?
I don't know. I mean, I would say that Winter Wyvern does better as a support than Beastmaster would do in the position he's set out to do, whether it be mid or off lane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the closest I can kind of put that together. I mean, just Winter Wyvern's ult is so freaking good.
Is just insane.
And at a Roche pit, you know they're going to be, clumped up. So
isn't it better cast time too? I think it's like close to instant, whereas Beastmaster, he has to like throw up his arms and like scream at him.
I mean, not even a second. It's like... It's pretty damn instant. They did change it a bit where everyone who's caught in it outside of the target will have a bit of damage reduction, but it really doesn't matter.
They still can't do anything.
They can't do anything, and usually you're focusing the prime target. Even if it's a solo, it's just enough of a long-range lockdown, even through a BKB, that you're going to...
Yeah, you're like setting them up for like a shackle. You're going to get eclipsed immediately after. Like, there's so many bad... When that happens, you're just like, bad things are about to happen to me, and I can't do anything about it. Well... Okay, so DC's game plan should be to wait out the Aegis. That's a pretty obvious one if they can. But at the same time, they could like smoke in through the top, which I think is pretty dangerous. They do have a rack sound. Let's see if they... Okay, they smoke. They have 1 minute. This is the true trial for Digital Chaos. Can they withstand the onslaught?
The true trial. The jury is present, and we will make our verdict if Digital Chaos will be the next up-and-coming NA team, or will they just be another wheel wreck while whistling?
They don't have a gem. They have 4 sentries. Wheel wreck while whistling. But here they go. Smoke in through the top. This is it.
Jump in from Schwan. It's a big one. Could have been on 2, but he's going to get lifted immediately from b3, so no cog will be at the follow-up. But what a shackle from Monkeys. Catches Bulba and Yawar. They quickly wipe the floor. Bulba, he's going to be out. No buyback, and now the catch. Waga trapped inside their own prison of cogs, but there we go. They're moving in, trying to catch TC, who's able to sidestep and make it away. They don't want to dive too far, so it looks like Root Gaming pull back. The buyback comes out from Yawar. Moves in. Quick Laguna. Annihilates Waga, and now he charges on in. Monkeys Forever could get caught out here. Schwan, another hook shot. This one will get the finish. Yawar's going to be able to die back for him for 96 seconds. Big latch from Monkeys. Catches onto TC. Should be able to finish him off here, though. Owie's poking him from the back, but the cold embrace is going to be there, Merlini. And it looks like Root Gaming might have done it here. They're going to just have to try to clear out what they can. It actually forces out the TC buyback. He's going to try to keep them off our lawn. Get the hell out of here. Whipping job backing out from the base. So much damage. One more whip. Oh, not enough. Did it miss? It missed on the high ground. No, okay, I got him now. Oh, boy. Back at mid lane, Root Gaming backstep. Now they take a big fight. They force out a lot of buybacks. They can't do any additional structural damage, but I guess it's still a pretty damn big win there for Root Gaming, but they will be forced to step back and wait for these ultimates to come back online if they want to engage again.
Yep, Digital Chaos failed that test. The
trial is over.
The trial is over. I know what they're trying to do. They have to push out the lane so they can do other stuff, but that's a very obvious move from teams. Like when you have a minute left on Aegis, you just look at every opportunity that you can to take a fight that's advantageous to you. And having a lane of open where you can smoke through, that is one of the best ways to do it. So if you want to do that, you have to have Lina back at the T4s pushing up. But they're probably all following Yawar's lead. And again, I think Yawar plays up a little bit too aggressively and dies a little bit too often. Last game he was 10-3. A couple deaths avoidable. This game is he gets punished 2 times too many, and then it just turns to a feed train. Now he's 6-10 with no BKB and much less farm than last game. So the playstyle works, and sometimes it works out swimmingly well. Sometimes it's just what are you doing?
Ooh, stolen hook shot going to be used here from b3. Gets the catch onto Schwan, a bit of his own medicine here. He gets his own hook shot and says, "See you later, nerds. Back to mid lane I go." And he's out of there. But look who's coming in from behind. Root Gaming trying to get their own flank play. This is going to force
Monkeys is doing nasty things to their base.
Oh, hi. Hello. This is your home. It's mine now. Looking to move in. Yawar, though, strikes him with a Laguna. It's big damage, but he is able to blink away from
Hello. I'm invulnerable during Wind Run and BKB.
Yeah, right? Kind of throws you off a bit. Step back, quick shackle, slows down Yawar, but look at Yawar is I am not letting this guy get away. That track giving him the vision. Easy LSA connection and will drop him down.
Track.
It's an ability.
Is really good.
Gives you vision, gives you gold.
Gives you move speed.
Might even give you massage.
That's how he got move speed. He was running down a Wind Ranger. Oh, Wind Runner. Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
And this is Yawar. He doesn't even need that much extra move speed already. He's already got, the Yules on top of it. You already got freaking Fiery Soul. She's going to be trucking.
That's a classic Monkeys play right there.
What did he even do inside the base?
350 damage to a range rax.
Okay. Not enough. I think it's to justify a jump like that. So
if he had a TP, he could just BKB TP. I don't know why he didn't just BKB TP. They can't stop it.
Yeah, you're right. BKB TP, but it's Monkeys. He's got to run out.
Without the track, he would have been okay too. But you don't take that risk at this point in the game.
No, certainly
not if you want to go to Nanyang, dude.
Not if you want to go. Have you seen the hotel? It's going to be pretty nice, Merlini.
Yo, I saw their logo. It looks like NYC. I was like, is this thing a new? It's like
it looks like NYC.
It looks like N*C, except
right there. It does. You know what makes it worse? That makes it worse, but for Nanyang Championship, their Twitter is NY Championships. I'm like, the New York Championships.
Yeah.
Nanyang.
Not to be confused with ESL New York, I guess, which would probably be... I was like, I want to call it NY instead of Nanyang, because Nanyang's kind of nasty to say.
Ew, don't say that to them. They're probably watching, Merlini.
But I can call their city name nasty.
Well, okay, so we're talking about names. How would you rate the name of Digital Chaos from 1 to 10? 10 being amazing, like the most awesome, unique name ever, and 1 being...
I don't know.
Digital Chaos. Let me say it for you.
Square root of 5.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Do you think Will Wreck While Whistling has a better team name than Digital Chaos?
Yeah. I think it's not that bad. It's at least it's not trying to be cool. Digital Chaos is trying to be...
It's like Dragon Knight 212.
Right.
Sorry, Sons Fan and Company.
Like wheel wreck while whistling is like so bad. It's like it can't pass off as a good name, right? It's trying to be a terrible name, which is fine. Digital Chaos is trying to be a good name, but it's not actually that great of a name.
Team WWWW pushing the bottom. Yeah.
Some guy had some donation message me yesterday. It's like, where did Winter Wyvern learn how to play or something? It's like www.ww.com. It's like, what?
It's such a terrible joke.
You laughed.
I did. It was like a dad joke laugh, to be honest with you. All right, well, nonetheless, we're back into the action here. I don't even know what the problem was. They didn't say what the problem was. Maybe a quick bathroom break or something, but Digital Chaos are back in action here. And
what if Monkeys had died there and Roche had respawned at 8, and then they went into the Roche? Like, that would have been really bad. So it looks like they go unpunished for it, but it could very well cost them an Aegis and a cheese. So, Monkeys, watch what you're doing. Don't make Monkeys plays.
Shame on you. No more Monkeys jumping on the bed. Or the fort.
350 damage to a range. Actually, I don't know if he got the T3 in mid. He might have gotten a T3.
No, the tier 3... Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I know tier 3 was taken down.
I mean, tier 3's already taken on bottom. It's like not that much of a difference in between.
I mean, they're rich now. They got certainly quite a big economy boost from that initial push, wiping out the top set of racks, taking down the tier 3 mid and bottom. Gives everyone certainly a lot. I mean, you're even looking at Derp here. He's got a Vlad's on hand for his Winter Wyvern. That's when you know you're getting into some good money.
But, you know, some games have been lost due to chain feed train against track. That is like the easiest way to lose a game. It's like 3 people die, 2 other people get caught out. The people who died bought back, and you get like 7 track kills. That's like 15,000 gold right there. So it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. That happens in like 1 out of 5 of my pub games. So... The chain feed, man.
Was that under the ward? No, that was their own ward.
They don't have a ward.
They're moving on through now.
So again, Digital Chaos with the good plays. They're smoking right before a Roche timing. So they win this fight, they get Aegis and cheese, and they can win the game. So their smokes are always on point. Granted, it's a little bit predictable, but it's still at a really good timing.
And poor Silencer, though. Everyone's so rich, but not him. Only has that Force Staff to help out. That Force Cube, you know?
It's good enough.
That's it, though. But, you know, it's not like your luxurious refresher orb or something that you can have 2 sweet silences. And
they need to drop a ward on the high ground. Do they have a ward? Okay.
Now they do.
They dropped a ward. Now they're going to do Roche.
Spawns. This poor little wolf is like, oh! This is where I was kind of resting. He's going to head out, and, well, both teams know exactly what's happening now.
Again, they aren't scared. They got dominated last time in the pit, and they still are just unfazed.
Get there, boys. Get there quick.
Boba, drop the tombstone in the same spot, what you usually do. Drop it right here, buddy.
But they're close. They can get hit by a Winter's Curse. He simply has to fly over.
Yeah, he has to drop
He's going to do the same exact thing onto TC. This time he's going to get popped with a Laguna. Oh, what a heads up from Yawar. Not again. Fool me once. Shame on you. But... not going to be happening this time. TC eating a lot of damage here, even from the little mental illusions. Roche down to about half-life. Oh, the buyback from Wyvern. Still has the curse up. This time Yawar not going to have the Laguna yet. Still 30 seconds down, and even the Tombstone will be going in here shortly. They're really good for Root if they want to contest this.
I mean, they have...
Move in. Hook shot. Was it blocked? It's not going to be in there. It is now. And, well, Monkeys decides to man up. The curse not going to be very effective for this time. TC looks to charge on out. Gets a big damage around the Monkeys first. Meanwhile, Yawar going toe-to-toe with Juan. Tries to bring him down low. Meanwhile, the chase continues on the Monkeys, but a catch comes out from Juan. Big hook shot to TC. Will force himself out from trouble. TC now locked in a pit. Biru eating a lot of damage from both Wagner and Ja. And they're also going to take out TC. 2 down from Digital Chaos. Yawar able to blink up the high ground to make it away. Oh, hook shot gets blocked from Derp. Damn it. Juan's not going to be able to get the catch on the TP, unfortunately, but Root Game will be able to move into the Roche pit and take it for themselves.
Oh, even with 2 missed hook shots. That Tombstone, though, that was a good Tombstone place. It's much better than over here because they actually can see it. That's where they approached from last time, so they can always scatter out with the Winter Wyvern who got stuck up there in the last fight. So the Tombstone stays there the whole time, which is a big deal because zombies are bad, as well as Clockwork gets his hook shot blocked by, I think, a zombie on the first time and then Derp the second time. Still... DC had the right idea, killed the Winter Wyvern because that curse is nasty. They almost got the win rate. It was a big deal. They were chasing her down, but they couldn't actually kill her during the BKB, even though they had a ton of damage. I think he had plus 200 on Razor.
And it seemed like a good heads up at the start. Yawar got the catch on the Derp. Derp took him out of the equation, but he had that buyback, and they still had that tier 2 for him to kind of show up at.
It would have been better for them to reset and then wait for Laguna to be up again so they can just pop him one more time, but they couldn't do it because the window without Tombstone is too strong for Root. They can just take down Roche in that 30 seconds, and then DC doesn't really have a good counterplay because they won't have positioning. So it was DC has been in these like really tough positions. Like, okay, do we back off as a team? Do we go in now? Like, what do we do? And they only have like maybe like 3/4 of a second to make a decision. So this is they've been in some tough pickles, man.
So is Root Gaming for though. Yep. I mean, this is back-to-back big Roche fights for them. It seemed a bit wishy-washy at the start with some of their engagements and their ult timing. And you'd think that at that point, Digital Chaos were just really going to thrive by being able to snowball on the back of, some track gold. But those opportunities really haven't been there.
Yeah, but they gave Waga an actual late gamer this time instead of Bloodseeker. So that's a big difference. He's playing pretty similarly, like joining fights now and then and farming a lot. But again, this time he has a much better hero to do it with.
Okay, but here they come. Charging down this mid lane.
No buyback on Razor.
Oh, man, he's caught. He's able to BKB. Needs a bit of damage, but what a catch. Probably should have bumped him back, but he's going to get the catch instead, holding him in, and even a Winter's Curse expended for TC's death, and it's going to be justified. 95 seconds, no buyback for the Razor. Digital Chaos are going to have to defend. Weak and wounded, they're going to lose even more here. Beirut could be going down momentarily, gets the lift off, but the Curse is going to be there. Laguna has a follow-up on the Monkeys Forever. Not going to be enough to finish him off. He's going to run and make it back and away from trouble. No one going down from the side of Root. Owie's going to be forced to pull out a buyback here, but they're still going to be down 2 all day. Jumping again from Juan. This time they bump back Owie right near the sentry. He should be going down, and Digital Chaos will call it. Merlini, we're going to a game 3 for Digital Chaos against Root. Root have done it. This time they pulled it together, and they get their win.
Very, very well played. All starting on that top fight. And the support's actually doing stuff and helping out the mid laner. And Monkeys played pretty well too. He had some really good shackles, and he did a lot of damage. And of course, Derp. I mean, all of them actually did pretty good.
They did what they needed to do.
They did not do that last game.
That's what I would say. Yeah, it almost was a bit nerve-wracking at the start. They had that one fight by their secret shop. It was a bit of that awkward spot, and casual